YouTube, what is going on? Crowder here, and I am bringing you a brand new YouTube video, and this is going to be a little bit different. So this is going to be gameplay review of people that I know and how to help their gameplay and kind of give them some tips and tricks that I see in their game depending on what they want from me. So if you guys like this kind of style of YouTube videos, make sure you drop a like right now, share it to a friend, and also comment below on what you like about it. You guys know I basically respond to all of my comments, so I'm going to be trying to answer all of you guys in there. I love the feedback that you guys give on the videos, and I'm always there to respond and kind of work with you guys to make the best content that I could put out. Before we get into this though, if there's anyone new to this channel or you just stumbled upon this video, I have been a pro COD player since I was 13. I'm 26 now. I used to play in all the professional Call of Duty leagues and all of that, the CDL and the COD World League and all of that, but now I am a professional Call of Duty coach for the team of Atlanta FaZe in the CDL franchise, and I play a lot of Warzone, and I do a lot of tips and tricks videos. And I am here to start this series. I really want to kind of lean into the coaching side of things for YouTube. And one of my friends here, Durka, his links will be in the description below. You guys can all go check out his Twitch channel and his content. He came to me the other day and said he's been playing really well, but he wants to see if he can average a couple more kills to the kill column for when he plays on average. And I figured I would watch this gameplay back, give him some of my tips, and then go from there. So this guy is a very good Call of Duty player. This is more advanced kind of style tips. So yeah, this is about how to up your average kills per game. And I'm going to see what I can see in this video and give him some tips. Some of these videos I might not give too many tips and tricks just because of the fact that you guys are really good players and there's a lot of good players out there. But yeah, I'm always going to do my best to give him some advice that I think can probably better his game. Even when you are at the best of your game, you see this a lot in pro Call of Duty. They're the best players in the world. There's always something that you can improve on when you watch your own gameplay back, and that goes for a lot of things in life, right? So when you're watching VoD and going back, you can probably see some tendencies in your game that you don't even know about that you can fix, and it'll make you a better player. And that's kind of what this series is for. So we're going to hop right into it. We have a gameplay here from Durka, and it's basically a tournament gameplay. Winning in this exact VoD gives them a little bit more points, so at the end you're going to see them play a little bit more safe. But overall, this is a tournament gameplay. This is a serious gameplay, and he wants to see what they could have done to get a little bit more kills, and just in general for his game, he wants to up his kill count. So we're going to get right into this and review his VOD. All right, so at first, we're going to see where they're dropping. They're most likely going to do the Superstore drop, which they do. I'm going to watch the Superstore drop here in just general and see if he could do anything more to up his kills here. A lot of the times, I'm going to be honest with you guys, Super can be kind of a shit show. And what I mean by that is sometimes you just don't get a landing. Sometimes you don't just get a gun. But if you do land and get a gun, there is better ways to play it than others. And I'll probably explain when I see him do this, especially if you're playing with a team. Of course, you want to stay together as a team so you can get the trades and all that. But let's see what we're working with. All right, so when they land Super, you're actually going to be able to see that he lands Super and he gets a gun. And a lot of people like to take this side of the Superstore. And even when I land, I like to take this side of the Superstore, but immediately off the rip, I don't know if this was a mistake or not, but I hate the fact that they grabbed the scavenger off the rip. And remember that this VOD review that I'm doing for him is to up the average kills. So I'll explain that scavenger here in a little bit, but usually grabbing a scavenger right off the rip is not going to be necessary when you land Superstore, because if you win Superstore, you have plenty of money, and if not more, to get a UAV and a loadout. So them getting that scavenger right off the rip usually is scary, because sometimes it's hard to complete because it actually takes you away from buy stations and stuff, where they probably would be able to get enough money regardless and probably pick up a bounty or something that's more useful for kills. But we're going to watch the rest of this right here, and you're going to see that this team, and when I say this team, I mean his two other teammates, are going through the back door, and this is all good in my opinion. You obviously are going to find some fights. You're going to try and get these kills, and you're going to play as a team and stay together. This next step right here, as you can see, you notice on the mini map right here that you have people shooting in that front corner. Usually when there's people shooting in this front corner, there's usually people in this corner a lot too, and like this whole area of the Superstore. A lot of the times when you're playing Super, if you're trying to get a lot of kills but also win it more than often, you want to get top control. You're going to see here that him and his team like get this one kill, and this is fine. You get that one down. Maybe you push to get this full kill just to get like a quick kill before that res happens. But after this, in my opinion, this is where I already see like one mistake that I even do myself a lot when I'm playing, is they start standing around in the middle of the store. And as soon as you start standing around in the middle of the store, the next fight that you take, if there's a lot of teams in here, is probably going to be you fighting a team, and then another team kind of pulls up from a different area, and you're like just surrounded where you can get shot from so many angles. I would like to see, after they're working this back door and you saw the people in this front corner of the store, I would like to see them work into the office area and get up top and clear that office, which you'll end up probably running into a kill or two. And then after that, you can use the window and the top advantage to actually get a lot more kills in the middle of the store. It's a lot safer of a route if you go together as a team, and it probably produces a lot more consistent kills. Remember, I'm not talking in this VOD just for this specific situations that are coming here. I'm talking about in general too. I'm going to give some tips in general and on top of the specific situation, but you can see he's actually fighting people in the area that I just said. And if they actually wrapped and probably got top control, these fights can be weird because if there's someone in this top window, which there is a lot, he's got no cover from that. And especially if they're a good player, it makes it kind of tough. So here, they're going to start fighting. This is not bad. And a lot of the time, Super can be very random, of course. Like, they're in a spot where they're just trying to get as many kills in Super as they can. I know by watching this, they do a pretty good job, so I'm going to skip forward here a little bit. So now that they clear the Superstore, the only gripe that I really had there, and it didn't really hurt them in this exact VOD, is that they kind of played the middle of the store. That leaves you open to a lot of angles. But here, it doesn't really matter. That's just a general tip if you're watching this video and you play Super a lot. When I'm going really, really hard, you'll notice that I always try and sneak my way from bottom to top, or just start at the top and always have that height advantage, because if you do get into a dicey situation, you can run away and play cover a lot easier when you have that advantage. But the next step I would say here is that they're not doing the scavenger. And the reason why I don't like the fact that they're not doing the scavenger is it immediately sets a timer of 5 minutes. So now there is 5 minutes here where these guys cannot do a bounty and up their cash unless they do the scavenger. And for kill count purposes, scavengers are not the play. Usually those are just meant to regain or get some cash if you're kind of a slower player. So them immediately doing that scavenger is going to kind of take them away from the kills that they should have gotten. So in my opinion, they should either finish the scavenger right away and just get the money and go from there after they get this loadout, or you're going to have to let it die out. But that's a lot of time to kill, and that immediately puts you at a disadvantage in my opinion. Okay, so here they get their loadout, and you can see that they have an extra $4,500, so they're going to pick up a UAV. The one thing I'm going to say about team games, and this is actually something that I think is super underrated, if you were a team, like if you were a squad, you know, you have Nick Merckx, Tim the Tatman, and Cloaksy. They always play together. You have the Break Time Boys. You have everyone that plays together, that consistent squad. If that squad is going for a lot of kills, if someone is selfless enough to use Hardline as their second perk and make UAVs cheaper, that's going to end up helping you a lot as well. I'll explain that a little bit more into this VOD. Instead of one of them using Overkill to start their loadouts, if one of them used a really, really good assault rifle like an AMAX or something and had Hardline on, I think that would help them tremendously, actually up their chances of getting an advanced UAV right off the rip of the game. And that will help probably like right after their first bounty if they completed one. Here next that you're going to see, they're going to pull up their map here. You're going to see a bunch of people pop up on the UAV at the hangars right here. So here you just drive at it. You have a car and you go right at it. This is nothing wrong. This is like good gameplay. And of course, I already told you guys this, but there's going to be a lot of things that are just good plays out of these guys when they're in this tournament. This is a good gameplay out of Durka, and he plays well. So here, you're going to drive to the action. Pretty much common sense. You take a car. If you have a trophy, you're in a really good spot. And then you go from there and go right to the action in the hangars area or the block area, or wherever you want. And you see on the UAV specific to the game that you're in, it'll help you out a lot. So here, guys, you're going to see this is the last kill that they need to get in the fight. They end up getting all the kills they need. There's probably some people around them. But my point of what I was saying earlier is now you can see that they get out of this fight. And if you count their money, this is the biggest thing to up your kills in game, in my opinion. This is going to take your average kills probably up like 1 or 2, if not a little bit more, depending on how good you are. After their first fight, they already cleared out Superstore, and they have already got a loadout. They have already squad wiped another team, and they only have $2,000 to their name. My biggest thing with this is that if they don't pick up this scavenger, or if they did the scavenger right away, they'd have more monies for instant UAVs. And the thing with the game that you're playing is a lot of the times people don't have ghosts in the beginning of the game because of the sole fact of a lot of people's first loadout's overkill, and a lot of people just don't have a loadout yet. And right here, they're already hurting for cash, and they're already talking about how they have to loot some more to get like more cash to find like where the rest of the map is. If they cleared out Superstore and ran to the first bounty that they saw and completed that bounty, they would have enough money, especially with Hardline, which I was explaining before in the class setup, to already have an advanced UAV and see where majority of the map is. And right then and there, when you know the majority of the map and then the advanced UAV, you know that, hey, sometimes you're going to land Superstore and there's not a lot of people actually around you, and that's not the spot to be. You're going to take a car or a chopper and fly straight to the map, say if it's all over hospital, downtown, farmland, quarry, wherever it is. You're going to be able to go to where more kills are going to come to you. So now watching again some in-depth analysis here, you see that the chopper is going to be on the top left of his screen. And right here, when you see the chopper is there, you see the chopper? That is a chopper spawn. If you have a chopper instead of a car, you are going to fly around the map faster and get to places quicker. And especially with the lobby that they have right now, there's still 96 people left. He already has 5 kills. He's on a great game. Getting that chopper to rotate quicker to spots, especially with advanced UAV and more UAVs and more cash in your pocket, is going to be so important. So personally, if you were asking me, I think they should have focused on the chopper when the opportunity is there. And on top of that, even sometimes land like hospital and get a chopper right away. It's actually a little bit underrated. But they're chasing this one most wanted guy down, which is most likely one guy when he's using a most wanted, he actually completes it and on them, so that more kills are actually able to be had. But right here, they spend a lot of time going for 1 kill, where they could have probably had that chopper and went to a hotter area of the map and got different kills. So that kill is not that bad. But I think even in this scenario, in this game, they could have gotten the chopper a little bit early. But here now they go for the chopper here, which is not a bad idea. But even this, they could have 2 choppers. So if one of them gets destroyed, you can constantly have a chopper and constantly have rotations, which is really important. I'm telling you, the use of vehicles, the use of money, and the use of bounties is exactly what you need when you want to up your kill count a lot. So going back to that hardline topic that I was just talking about a little bit earlier, you can see here that they have 4,200, 3,500, and 1,300, right? He's going to loot this box. If one of them had hardline here, they're actually going to be able to do an advanced UAV for $9,000 instead of $12,000. And they could advance UAV and make it even easier for them to actually know exactly where the majority of the map is. Because sometimes the UAV is going to show you within, what, 200 meters or 100 meters? I forget the exact range. But out of that, people are ghosted and you're not going to know exactly where they are. Military right now could be the hottest spot on the map and they'd have no idea. In a tournament, having an idea where the map is the most important thing, because if there's a lot of people in one area, there's a lot of kills for you to get, right? So that's why hardline and team-oriented gameplay is actually super important in my opinion, and it's actually underrated. But on top of that, just using money for an advanced UAV is really important. But even here, guys, what I was just saying, even without hardline, they do have $12,000 plus, which is enough for advanced UAV. And I personally think with the lobby that they have, it's about to be first circle and there's still 91 people left. That is huge to have an advanced UAV. So personally, I think right here as a team, they should take that chopper down. They should collectively give each other the money and pop that advanced UAV. If you have a chopper and an advanced UAV, you are consistently going to know where majority of the map is. You're going to make a better choice and a better decision on rotation. That rotation is going to lead you to have so many more opportunities to have a high kill game. If you guys ever watch me when I'm going super hard and I'm trying to put up a 40 bomb or a 50 bomb of anything of the sort, I'm always advanced UAVing, and every time I do that, I go, all right, this area of the map is hot. I know there's a few people here near us, but let's leave those guys behind and go straight to where there's 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 teams and try and get as many kills as possible. That is how you're going to consistently up your opportunities of having those high kills. And I know I've already mentioned this, but this VOD review is how to up Durka's kills. That's what he came to me with. He wants to up his average kill count per game. He's doing very well, but he thinks that he can up it maybe like 2 or 3 extra kills a game. These tips that I'm giving you, Durka, of course, you're going to be watching this, and anyone that is watching this, getting advanced UAVs, having more money consistently, doing a bounty off the rip instead of a scavenger, which I think that could have been a mistake. All those are super important to give yourself more opportunities to even get the kills, right? If you want to get more kills, you have to have the consistent opportunity to find the people on the map. And the best way to do that is advanced UAVs, using your money and keeping your money up. So you always have more opportunity to get more kills. But now, guys, you can obviously see they're sitting here. They take their chopper to the nearest fight. They find people. They play this team fight pretty well. There's nothing wrong with this. This is all good. They have the chopper if that guy runs away. They have their loadout for Ghost. They're in a really good spot here to still keep it up. 72 left with 7 kills is a really good game, especially when you're a good player. Like, you can make this work into something special depending on how the mid and end game goes. A lot of this also goes down to the lobby that you get. Some lobbies die out earlier. Some lobbies die out hard, like faster. It all depends with the RNG of the SPMM and stuff. But right here, they're in a really good spot. They got the lobby that they need. This is where you want to be if you're in a tournament right now, especially for a tournament match. So here, they pop the UAV again. Now that they constantly have money, they had that bounty. They're able to find more people. They have the money to buy more and more UAVs constantly over and over again. They know exactly where this team is. And this is what I was talking about. You can use these choppers to rotate to these fights so quickly, and it's going to save you so much more time than you think. Most really, really good players at getting high kills, even the players that are way better than me, use the chopper and use vehicles to get to the action as fast as possible. That is key. So moving forward right now, they're just using a helicopter, and they have money to buy UAVs and find people. And without any UAVs on the map, immediately, you already know what I'm going to say. There's a buy right next to them, right here, right here. They just were at a buy. They have not bought UAVs. And I know a lot of the times it actually is kind of weird how that slips your mind, but them currently just flying around in a hurt helicopter doesn't help their cause to find the next rotation as fast as possible. They actually get lucky where someone does buyback right there, but even there, they could have bought more UAVs and had way more chances to find people quicker. But him having this helicopter and them being in a really good spot helps them a lot. This is actually very good still. They're playing very, very well for the most part. Even with some of the tips that I've given them, they could have probably upped their kill count a few times and find more majority of the map, but still doing very well. So here they spent their money. They got the UAV, and then you can see right here that this UAV, there's a lot of red dots on the map, and that's exactly what I was talking about. They could have done this probably like 30 seconds to a minute earlier and caught people even quicker than they're catching them now. But this is really good shots at the Durka, and they're still here in a really good spot to hold a bunch of kills. This is where probably this next step coming up is where I think they make a mistake if I remember correctly, but I will let you know in a second here, of course. But skipping forward, they're playing the good kills. He's getting his kills. We understand that. This is all routine gameplay for an advanced player, and that's what we're watching right now. We're watching a beast at work here. So this was the mistake I was just talking about. It's right here. So he has the helicopter. It's still beat up. You always want to try and save the helicopter, but as soon as he does this, he loses the helicopter. That is not the end of the world. Considering how hurt it was, the mistake that I don't like here is that they have two vehicles next to them. And since they were in the chopper earlier, I didn't get to talk about this too much, but the more vehicles when you're a squad, the better. So what I mean by that is they should take both of these vehicles right here. It helps you to be able to form a better formation around your enemy, especially if you have two vehicles. One goes left, one goes right. You have to split their aim and they don't know which way to aim at. It helps a lot to surround your enemy and be able to play at a more like advantageous position for you. And just overall, them having that car would have been super, super clutch. And a lot of these like in the moment, like off the fly, like things get left even by good players. I make these mistakes all the time too. So I think they should have taken that one Jeep and this buggy right here. And if they had both of those cars, that's going to speed their gameplay up so much, because if they have a UAV and they see two teams and you see like there's only like one guy in the minimap over here and then three over here, you can send someone solo real quick to get a quick kill and then go from there. There's a lot more creative things that you can do when you have two cars, and especially if you just get all in one car and you get C4'd, or your car gets lit up by a team and there's not another car to shoot at and they disable your car in the middle of the field, you're in a really bad spot. So having two is always going to be better than having one. So in tournaments, when you watch some good players play, a lot of the times they try and split vehicles, and that's the reason why having two vehicles, or even three sometimes, actually helps you form better formations around your enemy when you're fighting them. And on top of that, it gives you a lot more room for error and also more opportunities to get a better rotation on people and get ahead of people on the circle. So here's the same exact scenario. They spent money. They have the UAVs. They know exactly what they're near. I don't like fighting downtown too much because a lot of the times it stalls a lot of time because you have to go upstairs, 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 and then by the time there, the map's dead, right? It's like it takes, those fights are very, very long. So I try not to go into downtown. They actually say this in the communication that, like, you know, downtown's not where we want to be. Like, it's going to waste too much time. So they grab the bounty. This is perfect. They grab the bounty. They're going to go for more cash. They're going to have UAVs, and they're going to be able to get more kills because of that. So they're playing this pretty well for the most part. And yeah, so here they're in a good spot. They have the bounty. They're going for cash. They have now $4,000 to $1,400. They're in a good spot. If they kill this bounty, this is where you want to be, especially with these two cars right here is what I was talking about. And even a buggy right here on the buy. This is where you're going to want to be if you're in a tournament. They have 47 people left and he already has 12 kills. So what you guys are about to see next is Durka picks up this Jeep right here. And this kind of goes back to my other tip of what I was just saying is, personally, I think when you're in a team game, even though the quad's not the most cover, sending 2 and 1 and not having just one vehicle is super, super important. I think it's actually very underrated as well as important, because you're going to be able to do, like, their guy just died in this scenario. They lost their teammate. They end up getting the trade. he's able to come back and get his stuff. So now, like, they're figuring it all out. They're getting their stuff back. They have a lot of money. They can buy 2 UAVs with this money, and then on top of those 2 UAVs, they get in both of these cars, and they get right out of here into the next rotation. If you can try and avoid downtown, you want to, but sometimes you're going to have to go in there and fight. So here, yeah, with the team game, you're going to get into this car. One of them should probably take the quad, in my opinion, and the reason why is because this happens right here. Now, this is very, very, very unfortunate. I know watching VoD review, it's always, you know, hindsight's 2020. It's very easy to see stuff after you're watching it, of course. But the reason why I said the tip before I even seen this clip is having 2 vehicles is always better than having just one, because you never know if there's a C4 on the ground, or if there's someone with a C4, or they're going to light up your car, or there's a proximity mine on the ground. You just never know when that's going to happen. And right then and there, this game has now come to a halt. Of course, you can regain and you can do your best, but he went from a potential like 25 plus to having the regain potentially land again. And this is where it can get like the Warzone blender comes in the mix. So here is where the game comes to a halt. And even though he does regain and win the gulag right away, it's still going to be a lot more tough having no ghost now, not having to go get your perks. You're going to be slower on rotation. The gas is now at your back. And that's why I always think having those 2 cars is better than one, because stacking a full squad in the car, even if a team decides to light you up, usually is a lot easier to hit a team of 4 or 3 in a car than it is just 1 or 2 people. And as you guys can see, I said this game comes to a halt. Yeah, he wins his gulag. His other teammates don't even have a gulag. So now he's going to have to regain and, you know, go to the nearest buy station and buy his teammates back. Here, there's not really too many tips or tricks. You know, you're playing Warzone. Sometimes you get thrown where you're going to have to play your teammates back. That's not his fault or their fault. You know, just an unfortunate situation. So there's not a lot of tips I can really give to get more kills while trying to get your teammates back, because right here he's playing a tournament where if his team wins the game, they actually get more points as well. So you don't want to go too aggro, because if you do and you lose the game, you actually lose tournament points as well. But the one thing I will say is when a game comes to a halt like this, my biggest thing is people underestimate how much kills you can get end game if you play it smart. And what I mean by that is here, they're playing a regain session, so you can't go too aggro anymore, and you can't go too crazy aggressive on the map and force engagements, because you actually want to win the game, right? And they're in the 5th circle, and there's still 34 people left. So all they have to do here is make sure that they don't get held out and probably get in the circle here and play end game kills. You're going to catch a lot of people rotating late. You're going to catch a lot of people in the circle in general, and he can probably still easily drop like a 20 to 25, maybe a 25 plus if he gets really lucky gameplay here. And he's still in a good spot. So like what I would recommend next after all of this is them trying to get some kills, you know, take that team's money and then buy his boy back. But on top of that, you want to make sure you're in a really good spot to catch people on a circle. So as you can see here, you have all of like this downtown area that they have to rotate towards you, and over here by port. So I would pick a spot like over here and clear port, and then look downtown and get a lot more kills this end game. There's so many people available to kill still, and this is actually a very healthy lobby, which you don't always see in Warzone. So when you get this lobby, this is where you want to actually kind of slow down a little bit and make sure now you're playing a little bit more smart, because a lot of people are about to come to you at the end game because they actually have to, and the gas is going to hit them strong. They're not going to be able to sit in the gas. So here is where you want to take control of like a building and make sure you clear the area that you have. And even if you had money for an advanced UAV, that would be really clutch too, of course, if they had their full team. So here, guys, yeah, they're in a team fight. They were getting hunted. They end up killing the person that was like on their bounty, but there's more people that they knew that were on the UAV earlier. Here, the mistake that they make here, and I'm sure all you guys watching this, it's very easy to say this now watching the VOD after the fact. They have to drop their, like, he should drop his money before he goes and takes this challenge, just so his teammate has $4 grand to buy one of them back, or just to buy the 3rd player back, and then they can obviously have a full team. When he goes out here and takes this challenge, this is probably his one like actual mistake I would say that he really made, like as an individual, is going around here and taking this fight. As soon as he takes this fight here and doesn't go towards that buy, that's probably the one mistake that I really truly saw him make and this team make, is they both don't go for that buy and they take it slow. And as soon as they do that, they have no opportunity to get their teammates back and they lose the game. If you back this up a second or two, what they should have done right here is one of them go for the buy and one of them not. So like, even though they know a team's near it, if they combine $4 grand and say, yo, I'm going to go challenge, you can go buy back, and then they work towards the buy together. So like here, they should work towards this buy together, and one of them have 4 grand. Both of them having $2,000 doesn't help either of them. It's not going to do anything for either of them if one of them dies. So I would rather play a 50-50 with one of my teammates actually having the money to do this, and they both try and push around and make a good play to get some kills on rotation. And unfortunately, he ends up dying here. And when he does, his teammates left in a 1v3 and they die. Like, they should have probably made a play towards the buy together. One of them should have had $4,000 to actually res, and that would have made this process a little bit more smooth. And even if they both die, but they get the res off, they still have an opportunity to have more kills, to have more of a chance to win. And even that teammate comes back down and maybe buys them back. You never know what can go on, but giving yourself the possibility in Warzone goes such a long way. I could not even I can't even explain it more than that, as giving yourself more chances to do something is really, really important. So yeah, they end this game up with 14 kills, 12 kills, and 9 kills. My biggest takeaway here, they didn't pop one advanced UAV when they had the multiple opportunities to. They aren't using hardline, which a lot of people don't, but I think that's underrated, and especially in a team tournament type game, that's actually very important. So hardline could have been used. Advanced UAVs could have been used. They should have had 2 choppers instead of 1, and they should have used 2 vehicles instead of 1 in multiple scenarios. I personally think that those tips right there of watching this back would have made this game a lot more aggressive for them, and actually probably have given them more engagements to actually, you know, up their kill count, all 3 of them collectively. And overall, if I was watching this and just watching Durka's perspective and watching him play, I personally think the one thing I would say is just like, yeah, the vehicle use and the advanced UAV use and having the knowledge of where the map is will up your kill count. Of course, you're going to have to be skilled and you're going to have to be able to outgun people when you get into these engagements, but the only way to even have the opportunity to drop 30 kills is by seeing 30 people, right? So if you want to drop 30s and you want to drop 40s, you have to find 40 people. You have to find 30 people. And the only way to do that is by constantly doing bounties, constantly having your money up, constantly having UAVs, and then popping advanced UAVs every once in a while to see where the majority of the map is. And then you find that hotspot and you go to that hotspot and you find more kills. So Durka, if you're watching this, and anyone that's watching this, I hope this helps you out a little bit. Sometimes little things like not grabbing 2 cars, not grabbing 2 choppers, not collectively dropping your money for an advanced UAV in the beginning of the game actually goes really, really unnoticed when you're just like, wow, like, why am I not getting more kills? But even when I watch my own gameplay back, and even when you're the best players in the world, and I work with pro players all the time, sometimes you just don't see little tendencies that can actually change your game from 15 average kills to 25, like to 20 to 25 on a good day. So these things, I hope they help you out. Durka, I hope you enjoyed this gameplay review, and everybody that's watching, I hope you like this series. If you like this, I will do this more and more. I got this gameplay through his Twitch channel, so if you're in my Twitch chat at twitch.tv/Crowder and you ever want some of your gameplays reviewed, don't come in just spamming it, but every once in a while, I'm going to try and take one of your gameplays, whether it's advanced gameplay or really, really simple gameplay, and taking your kill count from 2 to 6 or 7 to 10. It doesn't matter where you are at skill gap. I'm just here to help either the beginner players, the advanced players, or whatever you guys want me to do. I'm always going to try and do it for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend. Make sure you comment below too, because I'm always answering comments. I love interacting with you guys and all the support you guys show on my videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, it's been your boy Crowder. I'll see you guys next video for another one. And I hope you guys have a great day. Peace out, guys.